welcome back to Now You're Cooking. I'm Yolanda Rogers Ballard, and tonight we're going to be making a baked barbecue chicken, because we've done a baked chicken in the past, but this one is bought from a store already pre-made or pre-baked for you. All you have to do is stick it in the oven a little bit more, put on your Zip and Zang seasonings if you want additional, or additional barbecue sauce. For me and my husband, we tend to, when we get the baked chicken from the deli at our local grocers, is we generally will put it in the oven and let it bake for a little more, with a little more seasoning and a little bit more barbecue sauce, because once it gets all in the plastic and everything, or whatever you're carrying it in, you don't have as much. We're also going to make some green beans. What I'm going to do with my green beans is I'm going to add some potatoes to my green beans, and I'm going to add a potato and some onions to it. I generally will drain off the green bean juice that is in the can, because it kind of makes it taste like aluminum. It doesn't taste as good. And I'm going to re-add some chicken broth, or you can use just plain water. But you also want to use a couple of pats of butter, which is equivalent of about a tablespoon or so. And then you want to add your own Zip and Zang as far as your seasonings. And again, most of our dishes are seasoned to coat it, so that means you're just going to sprinkle it on top. As far as if you want to use your onion powder, your garlic powder, a little bit of seasoned salt, and a little bit of pepper. And then we're also going to have some rolls. We already had these rolls before. I keep them in the refrigerator because what I like to do is, because they're so huge, and for one thing, but I like to keep them around for when we like to change up whatever type of bread we want to utilize for whatever particular dish on that day. So if you keep some of these already in the refrigerator or in your freezer area, you don't have to worry about making some or deciding what type of bread or what type of roll you want to use with your meal. And then I'm also going to add a fruit salad. So I'm going to get some things prepared, and then we'll be right back. Thank you. And we're back. Thank you for coming back. Again, if you are someone that likes to use a peeler, potato peeler, or a carrot peeler, that's up to you. When you want to, get the skin off of your potato. Some people like to use this, leave the skin on because it's more healthy for you. Sometimes I leave it on, sometimes I don't. In this case, I'm going to peel it off. Or you can use just a paring knife, just a regular old paring knife. I like that better for me myself. Of course, you want to chop your onions thin and fine. And I've already got our chicken ready. And with the chicken, I have it in two separate pre-foiled and oil sprayed pans, because my husband, he likes his particular chicken with a different kind of barbecue sauce than I do. And I know you all already knew that, because we always are doing something different with regards to our taste buds. But he's going to use one particular sauce, and I'm going to use another one. I'm going to get this ready to place in the pot as far as the green beans and as far as the chicken, and then we'll be right back. When we first came on, I was chewing a little piece of gum and everything, because after you've been around throughout the day and everything, you want to refresh your breath. So sorry for anyone that saw me chewing and smacking, but I just wanted a piece of gum. Anyhow, just a reminder that this particular show, Now You're Cooking, is designed for individuals that have busy lives, busy lifestyles, families, roommates, even an individual who just wants to cook a nice home cooked meal on a nightly basis, or at least several nights a week. Whereas it doesn't take a lot of time to prep things. You don't have to, have a recipe book out all the time. And it's just something for you to be able to, when you come home from the gym, or when you come home from work and from school, and when you're having some friends that want to come over, for an evening and things of that sort. Or if you're just an individual and you want to, make yourself some meals, this is the show for you, and we thank you all for tuning. One of the other things I want to reiterate that we always speak about on this show too, is to just make sure you recycle your canned goods as much as you possibly can. Sometimes, according to where you live at, like if you live in an apartment building, they don't always have recyclable containers available for you, so it can get a little, hectic trying to make sure that you recycle things. But as much as you can and as often as you can, try to recycle your plastics and your cans and your jars and things of that sort. With our barbecue, baked barbecue chicken, I've already added the barbecue sauce to both mine and my husband. Our daughter doesn't like barbecue sauce on hers, so hers is going to be done separately for her chicken. She just likes hers plain. I usually will, after I put in our extra barbecue sauce, I'll drizzle it with a little butter as well. That's the extra zip and zang, as well as I've already put seasonings on there. And that extra butter gives it that really rich, creamy texture and taste to it. Helps your chicken to baste really well, especially if you're going to bake it again. And we tend to like our foods, a little more well done than usual, and not on the medium side. Also, with my green beans, because I am going to be adding the potatoes, as you can see, I've just cubed them. And that's only one potato, believe it or not. I'm going to put that in my broth that I already have over here. Clean as you go. I'm going to clean that up. By the time you guys come back, I'm going to clean that up. And then about 1/8 of a cup of onions. They too are just, finely cut. But it's just 1/8 of a cup. And this measurement is based on 3 to 4 people in a household. For our household, that's all we need. Because we tend to eat something different generally daily, but for those times when we do have something left over, there's always something left over. If someone wants an extra portion of food that evening, there's an extra portion left over. So do your measurements according to how many people are in your household or however many guests that you're going to be having. You want to let your potatoes cook up a little bit before you put your green beans in them. You can use fresh green beans, you can use the canned green beans, it doesn't matter, but you want to let your potatoes cook up a little bit more before you put your green beans in, because you don't want them to come out mushy or too overly cooked. I put my onions in because I like the onions to kind of mellow and what they call paper thin out or thin out by the time that I put my green beans in. I'm going to cover that. Generally, you're going to let it cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then I'm going to add my green beans, let them cook some more, and then when we come back, we'll show you our finished meal. And we might even talk about the Oscars.